Right.
Both work for me. As a fight choreographer, I could use all of it.
Wow.
That is true.
So we're going to tell you a funny story about he and I. We got involved online with some guy who wanted to make a movie, and he needed somebody to choreograph some fights.
No action movie experience.
Yeah, no action. You know, the guy's never done it before, and I said, hey, you know, I teach, blah blah blah. He goes, oh great. So he reaches out to me, and so he says, can you guys come up with like a 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes worth of fighting? All right. We send him some stuff. He sends it back. He goes, hey, would you guys like to just star in the movie? Because we don't want to have to teach somebody all this stuff, right? I said, well, you know, okay, sure,
Yeah,
right?
originally we were under the impression we were going to teach these actors this choreography.
Right.
Then he says, hey, Rico, you fit the roles of
Somebody
the character.
His name is Sarav Mahata something. I can't pronounce it.
Indian,
Sorry,
yeah.
Sarav.
He told us to call him Mo.
Yeah, Mo. Super nice guy, real chill. Really has he's done some shorts that have won in the festivals. Mm-hmm. So we're like, okay, cool. This for us, we were shits and giggles. Like, yeah, sure, we'll do it, right?
Something new.
Yeah, and dude, the first day of shoot, we were out in Orinda, and up in the hills in one of the national parks.
Yeah,
it was cold. The grass was wet. You know, we had these shoes. I had the nylon shoes and water. I mean, and we're like, now we got to act and we got to do this. I'm like,
no. Well, you guys had the first day inside of the Jeep because
it
was all in like inside of the car. This conversation that him, this the female character, and then this young girl were having in the back seat, and then they got to turn on the car whenever they weren't filming. Mm-hmm. You know, the rest of us were outside.
Yeah, you know what
for like 10
hours. Yeah, you know those days, right?
Yep, I do.
But it was the worst feeling. But then you had to like stop that and feel okay. Now we're going.
The next day when we did the action scene, my toes were numb, my socks were completely wet.
Yeah,
I'm being thrown like 12 times. Oh, we need this angle now. Okay, do it 3 more times.
Yep.
Yeah. So
you guys know. Now you guys know.
Well, we got a glimpse of it. I will not say that I know. And he says, yeah, we're actors now. But to us, it's kind of joking.
It was just
because it was the one thing we've ever done. It's the one project.
Concerning what I do,
I
consider it the same way. Just, I've made a career of it, right?
Yeah.
I get paid to play.
There you go.
Essentially what it is.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
That is really dope. I would be a terrible restaurant worker. I'm not a guy that sits behind a cubicle and just does this. I'm not that guy. I gotta be outside. I gotta move. Yeah.
Damn.
Dude,
we picked the wrong industry, man.
Yes, dude. I like what we're doing. This is just a happenstance thing. This wasn't ever planned. What we're doing right now. We're just two guys. I'm his instructor. Yeah. And I said, hey, the COVID hit and our students can't come to class. Let's do a video, and we'll give it to them.
Give them some training ideas.
And one of our good friends, his name is Dennis Duarte. You know, Dennis, you rat bastard. You didn't tell us you know everybody, goddammit.
He really does.
And he did say hello. He was like, oh yeah, Sonny canceled on him. He goes, oh, that's a real shame. He's a real cool guy. Like, yeah, I know, that bastard's canceled on him. Because he goes, oh, because I posted the 3 guys that we did do.
Oh, we need to do another promo.
And then first thing Dennis says is, what happened to Sonny? That bastard's
He's in Colombia.
He's in Colombia.
Something about drugs.
So he's going to be pleasantly surprised when I post another picture with your face on it.
Yes.
Oh, look who we got. So yeah. But that's the extent of what we do. He says, oh, you guys should put this up and maybe talk to some. And then we decided, okay, let's do that. So we put it on YouTube. People kind of like what we were doing. And then we had Bob Gomez. Bob, thank you so much for this guy. Holy shit, thank you so much.
Bobby. Good guy.
He got on our show. It was one of our first interviews. And then he says, hey, how would you like to talk to Malia de Casas Bernal? Like, what? He goes, yeah. Okay. Next thing you know, he said, hey, how about, he goes, hey, when you're in Hawaii, go see Sonny. Like, oh, shit, what?
And it just hit me, because he was saying that people are getting the sense that this has to be propagated, the arts have to be,
and I
put in a different light.
Gomez is doing.
And he is, definitely. But what Mike said about the importance of what we're doing, because people have said is, what you guys are doing is a great thing for the community. In my mind, I'm thinking, I have no idea what you're talking about. We're just two goofballs having fun, doing something we enjoy. But when he said that about the artists in the Philippines, it kind of hit me. oh,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing. We're giving people a platform to propagate something.
Yes, absolutely.
Something that needs to be propagated. And I'm like, oh crap! Like it finally dawned
Yeah,
on me
it became,
why they're saying
now it
those
became,
things.
for us, it became like,
We have a sense of
we have to do this,
responsibility.
a responsibility to let people see the people who otherwise would never be heard of.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, how many people know you outside of the martial, you know, out of the stunt thing and all this?
Half of Hollywood.
Only only the people that are in your circle, right? I would have never known about you if Bob didn't say, "Hey, go see Sonny," because you were just some guy that I saw at a movie premiere,
Right.
blah blah blah, and there was nothing.
Right.
And then when I heard your name, and I said, "Hey, is that
I think
the
I know that guy."
Yeah, I go. I was like, "Hey, I think I met this guy before." And there was a thing, and the Bladed Mind, believe it or not, was one of the catalysts that got my brother and I to name our system.
The bladed hand is what he means, and
Right.
the bladed mind is the
Is
name they
of our
use.
system.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. But can you imagine? Because of what we saw on that, we were sitting in a restaurant one night.
Yeah.
And Danny was like, "What do we call our system? You know, or is it even a real system or what?" And, you know, well, you know, they have the bladed hand, but we talk about the mentality that goes behind the fights.
Great title.
Yeah.
Great title.
You know, it's because fighting is all about this. If you
Correct.
can't get it here, it's not going to come out here.
Correct.
And then I said, well, let's do, you know, after we watched your film, we were sitting down, well, let's call it the Bladed Mind. And he goes, oh, perfect. And then when we explain that to people, he goes, oh, that's actually a very good.
They understand.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like, oh, get that.
Mindset.
You know, so it was because of you and the stuff that you guys put out that got us to where we're at.
Cool.
Wow.
See, and this is what we're
Yeah.
talking about. If I could do that, and that had an influence on you, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That you don't know might influence somebody else.
Well, believe this or not, people have been calling on us. Well, walking to a seminar. Hey, aren't you guys?
I'll
Well,
tell you.
because of this show, yeah. They're like, hey, you know
I'll tell
that
you a
face.
funny story. It's similar to that. Aren't you? So I'm in the Philippines, right?
Okay.
Of all the people, I look like everybody else, kind of, maybe a little, right? And I'm walking
You can
back.
be Salvadorian.
You know what? Anything brown.
Depending where you are.
Yes, that's why I'm in Colombia right now. Orale! No, that's Mexico. Sorry. So, I was in the Philippines in a city called BGC, Bonifacio Global City.
Yep.
Well-to-do neighborhood. And I'm
I
just
know the
walking
place.
back.
A lot of rich people.
Yes. All I'm doing is walking back from 7-Eleven, right? Early in the morning, kicking it at Jay's place. And I see this guy walking on the opposite side of the street. And he's looking at me like this. I'm thinking, did I do something?
Me?
He's
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
mug me. And then he yells, hey! I'm like, what? He walks over and I'm thinking, can I run? But I'm in slippers. And he goes, are you Sonny C-Son? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I'm a big fan of the Bladed Hand. I was like, whoa! You know, Manila has like 15 million people, you know?
That look like you.
So this is guy just randomly, and he's a big Filipino guy.
Yeah, so you kind of like
He's mean looking
He's like,
too. But he
damn,
was
I'm gonna
so
have to fight
nice.
this guy. Hold on.
Yeah.
Can I take a picture? Blah, blah, blah. I actually ended up hiring him for a movie.
Really?
Yeah. I got him a couple nights in on a movie. He's playing a security club bouncer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you, Master. I'm like, don't call me no Master.
Yeah.
All right, so what are you gonna put us in?
You guys never
dude.
know.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, if this movie that I have planned comes to fruition,
Yeah.
You have 2 years.
you guys are perfect.
Right.
I'm telling you, you guys do the BTS, and then, you know, I could definitely throw you guys in there for some. You know, back in the day, you know, we have the history of Floravilla Grill.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
and that's in somewhat going to influence how this movie is made. How the Filipinos came here and worked in the plantations.
Oh shit.
You know, the campfire, the stories of Stockton and all that kind of stuff.
Dude, I'll be a background guy with a
kind
machete.
of all of that put together. You know?
Yeah.
And in
So-
this environment.
I'm going to be honest with you, and this is, again, selfish thing. We were upstairs with my family because
Yeah.
my 3 sisters are here, my wife and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I tell them, if all goes well, and this Sunny Guys is a real cool guy, I'm going to ask him to put our T-shirts on this thing in your hand. If you would wear our shirt, because you know, and the thing is, because that's my favorite show right now. I mean, it's an awesome show,
Right on.
and we like, And when you had mentioned, NCIS, they're like, what? He knows those people? Holy shit.
So the only question we have for you.
Yeah.
What size are you?
XL.
XL. Okay.
We have one.
We have one. So we're going to ship it out to you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Give us your address later on. And if you can throw that in there,
Absolutely.
we would really, really.
I'll wear it in Colombia. No, I'm going back Saturday, so I probably
Yeah,
won't get it.
it will be
Yeah,
Coke White, so yeah. It'll be like this one. It'll be
I
like-
get it. I get it.
Black or white shirt? I think we have the black one on.
No, we have one of each.
I'll
What-
sport a black one.
Okay, good.
Right? I'm a
You heard it
Kaju-
here first.
Slimmy.
I'm a Kaju man, so it's got to be black.
It's got to be
Ah, okay. Oh, you know what? We haven't even really talked about that. We know you do some FMA stuff.
And that's why I was
What
leading
is-
into this. Let me get to because we're going to talk the movies first, or the TV shows, because to me,
Oh, that's right.
I'm such a TV show geek.
Yeah.
I like all these things.
Dude, anything that has a camera on it, you're a geek about.
I know. I'm
really
sorry,
is,
folks.
yeah.
You guys know
Yeah.
about me.
Yeah, watch. Yeah.
NCIS, how did you get there?
Interestingly, I was still in Hawaii, but actually made the decision to move back. And all my local friends that I've worked on through the years on 5.0, and I've known them for like 20 plus years or so. NCIS Hawaii is going to start this year. And it just so happened that one of the guest stars is a good friend of mine that I've doubled. So they're like, Sonny, Ron's going to be doing it, man. You should submit. And I come back and actually end up getting on the pilot.
Oh,
If you didn't remember the pilot.
I watched it, yes.
I doubled the Chinese guy. So any of the
I'm going to have to look.
hardcore stuff.
I'm going to have to pause.
Right.
Say, oh, there he is.
Right. You can't see us.
Oh!
That's
the secret
That's
about
the
the
secret
stunt
of being
guy.
the double, right?
Yeah.
You don't exist. You're
Yes.
there to make him look good.
Exactly.
Do some of these guys fall on their asses when they try to do some of this stuff for you?
No, but you know what? Ron also has a martial arts background
Okay.
himself.
Really?
We had a great stunt coordinator,
Uh-huh.
David No, whose father brought Taekwondo to Australia.
What?
And his mother
That's
just
crazy.
got her 7th degree. He's a judo expert, and so we were very well taken care of and tried to make the action as different from the other NCI stuff that you
Yes,
ever
I've
seen.
noticed that.
Right.
It's a lot different.
Right.
It's really, you see a lot of fight stuff on the TV stuff. I mean, Arrowverse and all those guys and all this. And how do you put this nicely, politely? Corny, campy stuff.
Yeah.
You know what
I was going to
Yeah.
say more acrobatic.
No, well, it's
It
really
depends. We're talking, what genres are we talking about, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking superhero stuff, then there's
It
a
has to be
certain
this
way
certain-
that becomes a little over the top.
Yeah.
Flair. Yeah.
Right? And if it's more about, cop show,
Right.
it can't be that
Too
martial
violent,
artsy.
Right. It has to be like street fighting.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
yeah.
raw kind of stuff. So it all depends on what the show requires and what the characters are.
Right.
Who they are, that whatever they're doing in terms of action reflects who they are and what the
Yeah.
story's about.
Well, 'cause I was going to say earlier, the scenes that you do cut out, or even in the documentary, like you're telling a story,
Yes.
and the images, the things that are being said, they have to coincide with the telling of that story.
Right.
Overall, so it's hard. Like he was saying, why wasn't there more of this? And it's like, well, would more of that have added to the story or taken away from it?
Yeah, would it move it forward?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And when it comes to documentaries in particular,
Yeah.
there's no set formula. You can
Right.
do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah, because you're just talking to the person. Whatever they give you is what
Right,
they give you.
right. So if you pick a specific theme, then you get all the footage that you can that supports it, and that might be over a 2-hour interview,
Right.
right? So Supremo can talk your ears off,
Oh yes.
right? 3 hours to get 5 minutes of a jewel, but that 5 minutes is like wow. But everything else, you're like whoa.
Everything else is on the cutting floor. And that's why we don't edit anything out, because we want to get everything.
Right.
Well, everything we
we
can.
owe it. I think we owe it to our guests.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to talk about that stuff, who am I to decide what stays and what goes?
Yeah, see,
And that's
but
why we've always-
you know
yeah.
that's not really, that's an afterthought. Our origin or our first initial thought is we're having way too much fun listening to this story. We don't want him to shut up.
Yeah,
So
we-
we let go
Dude,
of time.
we almost had Al here like
Right.
for 5 hours or more because we could have kept talking, and he's like, he did this with his watch one time, and like, oh, I guess we gotta cut it off. Yeah, right.
See who's got stories, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's got some. He told us some stories in Denver.
We don't want to repeat
So we're like,
just watch the episode, folks.
Yeah.
Because it was a couple before this one.
Some good stuff.
One
I mean, he's just, and he loves to talk.
Yeah.
He's good at it.
Yeah,
he's
very,
a great storyteller.
Very. He has a creative mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure he talked to you guys about wanting to get into production and this kind of stuff, films, TV shows.
Yep.
But you know, he, as a martial artist, he already had that creativity in his own
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Oh,
to
yeah,
be
yeah,
expressive, right?
That's innate. It's not something learned.
Right.
That's
right.
all him.
So the one hop kendo being my base system is exactly like you said, laid in mind. I have a Kaju mindset. I have a one hop kendo mindset where it comes to my FMA. I'm not an FMA purist. There are far more talented martial artists in every
Although
discipline.
he's certified to teach.
That's just my own expression. I can teach, but I also know the other aspects. I know how to fight.
Right. Okay.
I'm not saying I'm the best, but I know how to fight. I have fought. I have used it in situations where it led to an altercation and it saved my life.
Right.
Wow.
So if you've never experienced that, how are you going to teach something that you're not able to relate to somebody that might end up having to do that?
Right. You know, and you make a great point, because even Jason and I had said before any of his students can become masters or gurus or instructors, they have to get into a real thing. He'll go full bore on them to make sure that they can take whatever is being given out.
Right. No, we're not talking like, you know, old martial arts school.
No.
Where, you know, go pick a fight in a bar kind of thing.
No.
But
That's guy.
you have the pressure test, right?
Right.
You need the pressure test.
Yeah, and he says that. You know, he says, you know, you can come to the school, and if you don't ever want to be a master or
an instructor,
that's okay. But you don't need to do this. But if you're going to do this,
there will be
for you to be able to teach, you
Yeah.
have to have been there. You have to know, like you were saying, you have to have experienced that before you can go out and teach
And it's
somebody.
a totally different mindset.
Yeah.
You know, what I learned from those real life physical altercations was a different mentality, where I always asked myself, what would I do in a given situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not the kind of guy to really want to hurt somebody.
Right.
I know that. But knowing that what I can do can hurt somebody.
Right.
Right? When I got into that altercation, one instance was I was too much in control. Too much.
Right.
Not realizing the kind of intent what he was wanting to do to me.
Right. Wow.
So at one point, it kind of snapped in my head where I got him in a clinch and I threw a knee. Perfectly executed, perfectly controlled. I just touched him and pulled it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He went like that, I went like that. Oh! You know?
I said, I'm not training. I got to.
Yeah.
No, he freaked out. He was like, "Oh, I'm good." Oh wait, no, that didn't work.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. Now,
Wow.
you know, way back in the day, I used to ask Sifu out, "Hey Sifu, how come when we're demoing, you always hit so damn hard?" He goes, and he told me the story why he did that too. I don't know if he shared that with you.
No.
Back in the day, he got into some kind of scrap with a guy. He went to throw a jump kick at the guy, and he just touched the guy's chest.
Right.
And then he fell on his butt. He had to pick up a chair and hit the guy. He goes, after that, I made sure I hit
every time.
Every time.
Yeah. Wow.
Even in a demo, he'll put it on you. Not like enough to disable you or.
Yeah, he's not.
You know.
But you got to feel it.
That's
It's
what
not
I had to do
malicious.
to these guys. They're like, you know, if you don't feel it, you won't know how to give it.
Yes.
Dude,
precisely.
your brother made it hard to chew an entire day
Yeah.
with his soft touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just went.
Hey, that I think that needs to be incorporated
Yeah.
for the serious martial arts.
Right.
For those who want to progress to that level, like Jason said.
Right. Absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the years of training kicked into that fight as well. Aside from the control part, it was, I'm sure you've heard this a million times. He was moving in slow motion.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like that.
Yeah.
It felt like a training session to me where I was outside of my head. He's doing this, go to this. He's doing that, go to that.
So you were like a third-person observer. Okay, you should probably move in that direction.
It was kind of that way.
Okay.
It was kind of that
That's
way.
trippy.
So
Can you imagine the amount of adrenaline pumping through your brain at that
after
point?
you go, no, it's you're an automatic.
Okay.
Then after it's done, you're like that adrenaline
it's
dump.
like,
Right.
After you're done, you go, that just happened, and then all of a sudden, you feel like, whoa.
Exactly.
But in the moment,
Right.
you know, you're training throughout the years. You
just kicks in, and
it just actually does become
You're an observer at that point.
second nature.
You know,
where
one
you're
of the
thinking about
things
it.
that we'd always tell the students: if you purposely try to miss my face when you're throwing your shots in a real fight, that's what you're going to do. And they're like, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "That's why we always say, aim for the face. Forget the stick. Aim for the damn face." And
Yeah,
like,
we will even drop our stick while they're doing their basic 1 and 2 or
Right.
1 and 11 as we call it,
Right.
to see if they end up here.
Yeah.
To see if they can really get to it. If they hit us, that's fine, but we want to make sure that that's
That
where
it
their
gets
target
there.
is. If we're doing some empty hand stuff, if they throw a punch and it's missing,
Right.
we won't move. Be like,
Right,
what are
right,
you doing?
right. Yes.
That's not, that's
What
right here.
What would you guys say are the most identifiable movements or drills, generally speaking, in FMA that identifies as FMA? What would you say?
Hubad.
Yes, that's one.
Very.
Yep.
What's that?
Yep. So hubad lubad, double sinawari, right?
Yep.
Those are the
The go-to things.
go-to things.
I was going to say
But
Contrada.
even with hubad, right?
Yeah.
You see people train it as patty cake.
Yeah.
And they're catching the hand out here.
Oh,
It's not
no,
even
no.
close to the face. I go, why should I block it if you're not going to even touch
Yeah.
me?
Right.
One of the things that I always tell him, he goes, why do you have everything so close? And what I do is, aren't you afraid to get hit? He goes, out here, I'm not going to ever get hit. Out here, I'm saying I'm going to get hit, and this is when I want to take care of everything.
Yes.
Why do I want to take it out here?
Yes.
I'm at my weakest out here.
Yes.
Here, I'm sorry, I can stop a lot of things here.
Yeah, plus on my side, if I'm stopped here, I can redirect. If I'm stopped here,
That's it.
You'll get
Apex,
redirected.
I'll get redirected.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder.
The way someone explained it to me was the necessity to block is oftentimes the only option.
Right.
Because it's coming so damn fast,
Oh.
right? You just cover.
Right.
We call it the oh shit block, right? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right? Which turns into ubat, right?
Right.
Off
Or
that-
sagang
off-
labo.
off that action alone,
Yeah.
right? So when people have trained that stuff with me, and I tell them it doesn't work like that,
Nope.
unless I put it on you,
Yeah.
and I tell them go ahead and hit me, like really go for it. They're like, I'm afraid. I go, if I get hit, I'm telling you it's my fault. I'm the
Right.
one who said go
Yeah.
for it, right?
Right.
So the way one of my teachers said, it's like, your blocks little, when you're doing this, it's a literal shield. Because you're absorbing, everything's
Yeah.
close and tight, you're not reaching out. You don't hide behind a shield like this.
Right.
You hide behind a shield like this. Right?
And that's exactly what we say. If your hand is any further than this, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because there's even just a snapback.
Right.
You're poking yourself in the eye.
Right.
I mean, why would you do that?
Right.
So when we play, I always tell them, come in real close. I keep everything right here. I'm always, so now I'm at my strongest. When I get that recoil, my snapback is going to be so strong.
Right.
Because of what you threw at me. And you're still there because you're what?
Yeah, you're extended.
And I'm
Exactly.
like, boom, and I'm going to get my shot in. I love that that's how you're saying this. Because
Yeah.
again, it lets my students know, oh, this Rick's not full of shit.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know who the real teachers are when they can understand and relate to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you see that there's a commonality in certain
Yes.
things.
Well, 2 arms, 2 legs.
yes, right. But different mindsets.
2 arms,
different
2
mindsets.
legs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that
then
really
that's
is
what
all.
really
It's the
changes.
mentality that you
Yeah.
put behind it
Right.
that really makes your art what it becomes.
Sure.
I mean, in the Bladed Mind, we talk about the mental aspect more than we do the physical side. Because I always tell them, if you can't get it in your head, you're never going to your body's never going to do it.
Right.
So why would I tell you to jump 10 feet straight in the air? Because I know you can't do it. But if I do 10, jump that
across.
way 10 feet, you're willing to try because your mind says that is something I could probably
Sure.
do.
I might be able to do 6.
Yeah, right?
Right,
But
yeah.
you're at least willing to try. But going up, you're like, okay, that's stupid.
Right.
Exactly. So if it doesn't get up here, it's never going to get out
Right.
here.
Right.
And that's what we tell our guys. It's like, now think about that logic. And again, the Bladed Mind aspect of it is that think about what I'm actually telling you to do, and how are you perceiving it?
Yes.
It's not what I'm giving you, but how do you understand what I'm telling you?
Right.
then I know what next to give you because now I know how you think.
Right.
We call it speaking the same language. So I'll have 3 different students. I'm saying something. They all have something different idea.
3 different interpretations.
So I'll go, okay, what did you understand? They tells me, what did you understand? What did you understand? So now I have to do 3 different lessons for each one so they understand what I'm